Hey everyone, and welcome to the Expedition One podcast. Thanks for joining in. We are going to talk about our long hiatus from podcasting that occurred there for several months. And just kind of get everybody back up to speed on what's going on. As always, I have Sarah with me,
Hello.
and we're here to have a good podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Get you up to speed.
Where should we start? Let's talk about COVID because everyone hates COVID.
Because we haven't heard enough.
Because we have
About
not heard enough
COVID.
about COVID.
Let's talk
Okay.
some more.
So let's talk about COVID. So here's the good news from what I can tell with COVID, and I'm not going to try and get all doctor on anybody. It seems to be, at least in the US, it's tamping down quite a bit. It seemed like Omicron came and everyone got Omicron. And then after everybody got it, now way few people are getting it,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. We'll see how that affects everything because at the same time that's happening, China's having a huge lockdown. So
Right.
current thing, what's going on is I can't remember which province. I want to say Xinjiang, one of those.
Just where everything's made, I guess.
It's where a lot of stuff
Whichever
made.
province that is.
Apparently, like 20-something% of all U.S. products come from that province,
Pretty big number.
and they're doing a lockdown. So that's going to affect things. Not necessarily us, but it's just going to affect more market things. The biggest thing that we're seeing an effect on, for us, we're able to get the vast majority of the supplies that we get because the vast majority of our supplies are not coming from China, right?
Right.
There are certain things that good luck finding it made anywhere else, okay? That's the truth, right? There is just things that you can't get anywhere because they are not made anywhere but China, right? Or if you're buying them here and they're very specialty and they're in high demand and they're really expensive. So that's what makes it a little tricky with that whole thing. But
Yeah.
for the most part, we don't have anything specific that we're heavily reliant at all on overseas manufacturing. So
Right.
that's a plus. That doesn't mean that everything still flows right. So
We have vendors who rely, that are US
Yes.
vendors who rely on those things. So it's not that we can't get it. It's just that it's taking way longer than it used to.
yeah, no,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the demand, has built up during those shortages. So just everybody got so backed up on stuff that is taking so long. Extruded aluminum, great example of we've
Perfect
always been able
example.
to get
Mhm.
it. It's just the lead time has grown longer and longer and longer to the point where we're ordering a year out
Mhm.
now on material.
Yeah.
It's taking 8 months, 9 months to get a shipment in. So
Yeah.
it's tricky.
Well, last one was 11.
Yeah.
That was the quote. Fortunately for us, we had accidentally double ordered. Accidentally on
Not
purpose.
accidentally. I forgot that I double ordered.
Yeah, which was good.
It was very
It
intentional.
was very intentional, which was very good. So we did double order. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean we're fine, right? On
Yeah,
that
doing
kind of front.
okay. It's just
It's just that is kind of the nature of it. What is interesting is how it's I can tell that it's affecting a lot of people based upon when they're getting their vehicles, right? Because we have a fair amount of people that are doing new builds, that are doing new vehicle builds. They're buying their truck or they're ordering their truck and they're planning out in advance. And the Bronco is a great example of it. I mean, we didn't get our Bronco for it was almost a year, right?
Yeah.
From when we ordered it. And the anticipation is that we would have got it in July or June, but we got it in December,
Right.
fortunately.
Yeah.
But now, we have, we have friends that are waiting. Yeah, that's just everything stalled because of
Yeah.
the chip problem.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and that's a problem that a lot of companies are having, and it's a continuing, ongoing problem. So, we'll see what happens there. That one's a weird one. But as far as our product, things seem to be we're doing all right.
Yeah. I mean,
As far as our
supply
materials and
chain's
stuff.
okay. Just backed up and then
Expensive.
expensive, right?
Mhm.
Because of those shortages and
Yep.
backups. We're not seeing a big change in material pricing.
Yeah, gas prices is affecting some things, but I think it's
Definitely.
more affecting um It's probably going to be a more of effect on shipping.
For
So we're
sure.
trying at the moment, we're trying not to do any price raises in shipping. Um, but it's pretty significant
It's
what's
very
getting
significant.
thrown
Yeah.
at us.
Yeah.
So in a very rapid succession. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we've kind of flattened out a little bit on that. Um,
Yeah.
but
We'll see.
yep,
It's kind of been another of those areas that
yep,
kind of just keeps going up.
war and stuff.
War and stuff
It really,
helps.
really does great things for
Just
your
take a quick break
need
to
for
ask
gases.
Zevia again to sponsor us. We'll probably do that in every podcast. Just say,
Yeah.
hey, we're your
Hey,
biggest
sponsor us.
fans. Please sponsor us.
Might as well, right?
Mm,
You know, new markets.
right.
They have stuff that has caffeine in it if you want it. Like they have energy drinks.
Yeah.
And if you don't know why we drink this, or at least why I drink it, so it's that whole diabetes type thing, type 2 diabetes, um, and that I got diagnosed with a couple years ago. This is made with stevia leaf extract, which the stevia molecule, or what it, I think that's what they consider it to be. Anyway, the molecule they pull out of that, the extract, it really just doesn't um, turn into energy. It's 0 on the glycemic index, so it's sugar
So
free.
it doesn't spike your
Doesn't spike your
blood sugar.
insulin. Slows, supposedly healthy. It's all natural. Something your
It's not
body's
artificial.
not
Mm-hmm.
artificial in any way. So it's a great sweetener, and this is the only soda that is exclusively that I know that is exclusively
Right.
sweetened with
Because others
that.
throw in some other artificial stuff
Yeah, most of
too.
them will throw in something
Yeah.
that's like a sugar alcohol or something that is does register on the glycemic index, and that isn't necessarily a good thing if you're diabetic.
Right.
So, or if you're just like trying to lose weight or something, you know, trying to
Yeah.
get in shape. But they do have an energy drink. Yeah, they have an energy drink line that I don't drink because I don't drink caffeine. But and that's a personal decision. I just don't need it. So
Whereas
don't
I'm
make it a
completely
weird thing.
dependent on it.
Yeah, yeah.
This is unfortunate. Okay. Let's talk about labor.
Let us talk about labor. We live in Utah. Labor unemployment rate's 2%. So
Yeah.
usually a 4% market is relatively normal and somewhat healthy. 2% is a little crazy. So
It's rough
it's a little
for
rough.
employers.
It's rough for employers getting people.
So,
So,
got an awesome team.
mm-hmm,
Got a stellar team, I will
mm-hmm,
say. But we're always adding. We're
mm-hmm.
always looking for
Always
more
adding. Have
because
been for months
for
and months
months,
and months,
yeah,
and
yeah, we've
it's
had
tricky.
postings up, so we just want to keep adding great people to our team, and we know that a lot of our vendors and suppliers have the same struggle. So things like powder coat and processes like that we sub out take quite a bit longer than they used to. We're starting to see some turnaround there and some changes, but hopefully it improves. But we know it's just tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough time to find folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Yeah. Materials. We'll just talk about that real quick because we talked a little bit about
We did.
aluminum, like our
Yeah.
extrusions, stuff that's supplied. As far as our bumpers and our product, we've done a really good job at securing our self materials, and we are having to buy huge volumes of material at a time. But it's very good in securing and kind of maintaining a price point and making it so we're not having to fluctuate rapidly and in weird moments. So,
Mhm.
for the most part, on that whole area, we're doing really well. Um, Aluminum's going up. We don't really make a lot out of aluminum, but so we're trying to keep our prices where they are without, you know, we're trying to absorb a little bit. But that's happening. Same thing with stainless steel. We don't really make anything out of stainless steel specifically. So a few little
Yeah.
parts here and
Yeah.
there.
Some parts.
So that's what's going on in the world of materials. The good news is before, when it was like you'd have these times where you just could not get material, we're able to get material, and that's beneficial. We're still manufacturing at a very specific pace that's a little bit slower as a result of the need of not potentially overextending ourselves, because we've had a few of those moments where there are material shortages and we're going to lose weeks at a time potentially, and so we have to do some weird drastic things, and so we're kind of being very careful with how we forecast our runs and our production, and unfortunately that just kind of slows things down a little bit,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but it also makes it so um, we don't have a bunch of one bumper that in stock and then impossible to create other bumpers because we
Right.
don't have the material.
Right.
So that's the reason why we do it. And we'll probably keep that up until we start seeing a little bit more correction in the market and we see the supply side catch up. But unfortunately, that's kind of just how we got to run for a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
So cliff notes are we probably won't, not likely that we would have it in stock, but do we have the material to make it? Absolutely. Yeah. Just the lead time's a little bit more.
little bit longer
Yeah.
potentially. Yep.
So on the positive side, though,
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about the negative delays of lead times with materials and COVID stuff. We do have some positive changes going on with, for us in particular, with lead times that we're going to start seeing those come down quite a bit
Mm-hmm.
with the automation processes that we've got going on here. So
Mm-hmm.
new automations.
New automations.
Yeah.
Yep. We got lots of them. So not going to get into overly crazy details, but overall, I did some just estimating, and we put in the last 2 years, a lot of it this year, we put over $800,000 invested into new equipment
Mhm.
that will speed up our processes, make output better, faster, quicker, all that stuff.
Right.
So that's where most of our energies have kind of gone to.
Yeah.
And we're planning on potentially as much as 600,000 in the next 2 years to other things if we can get them. That's been a tricky thing because a lot of this equipment we were like years and years before we were like, this is what we want to do.
Right.
These are automations we want to put in place, including equipment that we wanted to buy. And it took, in some cases, it took 8 months to get that equipment.
Right.
Just once we ordered the equipment, it took 8 months to get it. And I'm hearing that from a few other suppliers, like, hey, if you're wanting to do this, now's the time to get to order it in anticipation of hopefully having it before the end of the year.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
about what it's like.
That
right
is
now.
about
Yeah.
what it's like.
So it's been a long time coming, but we're getting some stuff up and rolling, and
Yeah.
it's exciting. So as more of that comes online and is ready to roll, we can really hopefully start to see those
big
lead
gains.
times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We've seen them already start going down in the last few months.
Mhm.
So we've been able to really take a hit on it because we've been really able to push our output a lot higher. But I mean, January was like a rough month because like everyone got COVID. So
It was rough.
and
Yeah.
it's like,
Anyone who hadn't had it yet,
yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody but
pretty much
him
got
got it
it.
basically. So, and he probably did
Lucky.
get it.
He
He probably
did.
just didn't know he
was
got
one
it.
of those
Yeah,
asymptomatic
he's
ones.
one of those people.
He's probably the spreader.
Yeah, yeah, he's his own little super spreader over there. Doesn't even know he's got it. He's just spreading it, everybody. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, but that's really what brings us up to now, right?
Yeah.
For the most
Getting
part.
up to speed, getting
right?
back into the podcast. We got some guests planned.
Mm-hmm. We do.
Mm-hmm.
Several.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's exciting.
Yep.
We can get back on this train again.
Yep. And we're going to do more of these that are just kind of general chit chat,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Or just talking about stuff that we have going on, or where we're taking subjects, specific subjects. The one after this one, the couple after this will be specific subjects that are good for information. And so, and we got a brand new podcast room.
That's right.
Which
Yeah, we gotta introduce that.
I like it. Here's the
It's
new
neat.
here's the new room.
podcast room.
Yeah.
For
It's
those
pretty
watching
set
on
up.
video. Yeah.
It's not fully functional, but it's 99%. So
Yeah.
we can do most of what we need to, and it's only going to get better. So yeah, you got anything to add, or we good?
We're good. We're up
We're
to
good.
speed.
All right. Sweet. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. There's more to come, and we'll see you next time.